What is going on YouTube? I'm Alex from Fresh Hands, and today I'm really excited because we're taking one of my favorite snacks, pickles, and we're actually going to smoke them. But we're not just going to throw them out on the smoker. We're actually going to take them and we're going to make a cream cheese blend, wrap them up in bacon, and then throw them out on the smoker. So it's a pretty simple process, so we'll just kind of jump right in. I'll walk you guys through what ingredients you need if you want to do this at home as well. So the first thing you need is about a dozen or so of these smaller pickles. You can find these at your local grocery store. In this case, we're all about made in Texas. So we're using these best made pickles. They're made right here in North Texas. So you'll get this little size jar right here, which this is a 22-ounce jar. It'll yield you about a batch of these. So just be aware of that as you're going through and thinking about how you're going to go about doing this. The next thing you need is 1.5 cups of shredded cheddar cheese. So we've got that right here. A clove or 2 or 3 of garlic. We like a lot of garlic around here, so we kind of amp that up a little bit. Some fresh cut bacon. Right here you can see that I've halved all these slices of bacon because each pickle, we're gonna have those and then wrap them in bacon. And so here I've got some peppered bacon. Now I just pulled this out of the fridge, and just as a little helpful hint, I like to work with bacon while it's still cold. It's a little bit easier because it tends to get a little greasy when it's been sitting out for a while. And then you need some cream cheese. This is just 1 block of Philadelphia cream cheese, super easy there. And then the recipe that I found initially online didn't call for it, but I'm gonna go ahead and throw some of this bacon barbecue rub from Meat Church on these once we get them wrapped up. So, and maybe a little bit of salt and pepper blend. Always have that on hand, 50-50 salt, pepper. You can't go wrong with that. So without further ado, first step here is gonna be halving these pickles. So we'll kind of try to fast forward this through this for you, but I mean the idea being is you want kind of 2 equal halves here, or as equal as possible. It doesn't have to be perfect. Some recipes call for you to kind of scoop out the center of these. I'm not going to do that today. I'm just going to plop a little bit of that cream cheese on there, wrap it tight in bacon, and hope for the best, right? So we'll go ahead, get these cut up for you, and then we'll be right back when we're all cut up. Okay, we've got these pickles all halved up real nicely here. And so now the next step in the process is we just need to mix up our what we'll call our filling. So I'm gonna set these aside. You just need a bowl for this. Doesn't matter, what kind of bowl you have, and then just throw everything in there. I've got this cream cheese that's been sitting out for a little while. You want it a little bit softened up. As you try to mix it, it'll wind up getting to where it has, it'll melt down a little bit, so you don't need to be too worried about that. So throw in some cheese. Oh, let's get all that out of there. You want all the cheese in there. And then we'll dump our garlic in. Like that. And I'll put a hair of this rub in too, just to give a little bit of flavor in that mixture. So just like that. Super easy. And I'm gonna use a fork today to just kind of mash this together. And we'll fast forward through this for you guys as well. So we've got that blended together, and we've got a nice little ball of cream cheese and our rub and garlic right there. So you can see using the fork didn't really work out for me. I probably could have let that get a little bit more melted down, so you leave that out for a few extra minutes if you want to. I'm gonna get these hands cleaned up really quickly, and then we'll be right back and we're gonna start assembling these things. Okay guys, got my hands all nice and cleaned up. We're ready to assemble these things, so let's hop right in. The first thing I'm going to do is grab one of these pickles, and I'm just using a teaspoon here, and I'm just going to kind of put that on top of the pickle there, kind of mold it a little bit so you kind of have it, it's like a little boat there. Grab one of these little slices of bacon, and you can just wrap it just like that. Now, some people will throw a toothpick in there, but honestly, you don't need a toothpick for this. So to get that to stay, that fat will bind together with itself really nicely. And you don't need to do all that. So once again, in case you missed it the first time, we'll take just a little bit of that gonna mold it down on top of there. And of course, if you wanted to, you could use an entire strip of bacon, and I don't think anyone would complain. There you go, right there. So just keep doing this until you're all done. Okay, y'all, we're done wrapping these things up. As you can see, we've got 2 strips of bacon left from my original 12, and that's because I got a little hungry while I was waiting to film and ate one of the pickles. So we'll go ahead and we'll cut another one, wrap a couple more of these pickles up. But as you can see, we've got them just wrapped over basically twice with this half strip of bacon. One thing to notice is we've got some thick cut bacon here, so it is going to be a little bit harder to get this crisped up. If you're doing this yourself, the thinner the better usually with something like this or any kind of popper. But we'll make it work. So, and then you can see here, we've got a little bit of leftover cream cheese. So you can certainly go cut some more, go grab some jalapenos, stuff those, do whatever you want with that. Don't let that go to waste though. So now we're gonna take a little bit of our rub and we're just gonna kind of go over on top of these, give them a little extra seasoning there. We'll give them some nice color too. And that really does it. These are ready for the smoker. We're gonna go fire up the Yoder YS 1500 pellet smoker. Today we're gonna be cooking them at about 350 degrees or so. I may up that up a little bit just depending on how things go as far as the bacon crisping up in there. But we're gonna let that grill get nice and heated up because that's what's gonna be key here, is putting them into that really hot environment that allows that bacon to really decompose and crisp up. We're gonna be using a mixture of oak and pecan today. You guys know that if you've been watching these videos for a while, I like that sugar maple and pecan, that oak and pecan. So that's just the mixture we're gonna be going with today. And it should take them about 15 minutes to cook. Maybe give or take a little bit depending on the thickness of the bacon and how big a pickle you choose. So we'll catch you guys back when we've got the smoker fired up and we're ready to throw these on. Okay guys, we've got our smoker heated up to about 265 degrees now. These things, they're just looking real good. They're ready to go on there. We're gonna put them on there for about 15 minutes and we're just gonna pull them off and we'll check them to make sure. What we're really looking for is this bacon to be nice and crisped up. So we're gonna cook on the top rack on the YS 1500 today. So let's go ahead and start putting them on there. Burn it a little bit. It's rolling like thunder there. So, sizzling pretty good. Great heat up. We're going to go ahead and close this down and then we'll see you back in about 15 minutes. That's when we should start at least checking to see how done these are and how crisped up they are. Alright guys, as you can see, we're smoking good. That means that all that bacon fat is starting to really drip down and kind of burn off on that pan, on our sear pan there. So let's go ahead and get these things off. Got a lot of smoke going. Might be a little hard to see. These are going to be nice and crispy. May not look it right now, but once we get them, yeah, a couple of them fell apart. Not a big deal. Just not in the whole toothpick game. What about that one? And that's that. Just
Happens.
stop. Just stop. All right, y'all, we're back inside now. So we had a little bit of a grease fire going there. Part of that was all that grease dripping onto our diffuser plate. Probably needed to be cleaned a little bit, and we had that thing on such a high temperature. But it's the way barbecuing goes, and we're gonna go ahead and publish this video because we want you guys to see it. It doesn't always come out perfectly. This is our first time trying this. We had this at Memorial Day at my mother-in-law's house, and we just wanted to give it a shot. And actually, the results are pretty good because I did sample them before before starting to film this little segment. But yeah, I think a couple of things that we could have done differently. I would have definitely bought probably some cheaper bacon that was a little bit thinner cut, because what we found was that those really thick cuts just wanted to kind of open up once we were cooking, because you usually with this kind of stuff do not need a toothpick. But if you have that thinner bacon, you can stretch it out and really wrap it around tight so that you get a little bit more a little bit more of that where it'll stick to itself. But anyways, I mean, these look pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and grab one. Like, if you take a look at this one, it's nice and crispy, looks pretty good. We're gonna go ahead and give it a try. I know they taste good because we've already tried one, but let's go ahead and try it. It's almost like eating a cheeseburger without the meat, or without the beef, or a bacon cheeseburger. Because really the only thing missing is just having a little bit of beef, and you've got cream cheese. You taste that right up front. The cheddar cheese mix in there tastes awesome. That little bit of rub on top just kind of seals the deal, where you get a little bit of that smokiness, and it kind of accentuates the bacon. It's really, really good. These are top notch. Yeah. I think with a little bit of perfection, definitely going with that thinner bacon, can bring these to a party, and people are definitely going to be asking for the recipe. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed seeing a little bit of a blooper reel kind of thing there. But until next time, happy cooking.